Hi.
Hello, good morning, everybody. Dobry dien.
Oh, good afternoon. So, Tim, you might start?
Yeah, very happy to start. Shall I share my screen? Okay, so there we go. Can you see my presentation now?
No, unfortunately, it's not visible now.
Okay, let me try again.
Now it's visible.
Okay, excellent. So I understand I have about 20 minutes. I've got lots of slides, but I promise I won't talk for more than 20 minutes. So I'll go through the slides quite quickly, and a lot of the important information is on the first slide that you can see here anyway. So some of the key points about the University of Plymouth and about University of Plymouth International College. Well, as you can see from the picture, we have a great location, and that's one of the great advantages of being a student in Plymouth. We're in the southwest of England. We have a coastal location, but we have a big city location as well, with the college and university campus right in the heart of the city and right next to the sea. So that's one important point to make right at the start. We have a great location. We're not in London. I know everybody has heard of London. Everybody thinks they might want to be in London. London is expensive. London is complicated. It's a fantastic, exciting city, but it's hard work and it's expensive to be a student in London. So another advantage of our location in Plymouth is that we have much lower living costs, for example, especially for accommodation. So typically our accommodation will be about half the price of studying in a London university. Lots of great facts about the university. Number 2 young university in the UK. So that's universities less than 50 years old. We were voted, Plymouth was voted the UK's friendliest city last year in a Moonpig poll. We're ranked for number 7 most cost-effective student city in the UK. So as I mentioned before, great value, lower cost accommodation, lower cost of living. And in the top 5 of all universities in the UK for international student experience. So our students typically love being here. You can see in the columns to the right of that slide, the subject areas that we offer. A lot of things you might ordinarily expect, such as business and computing. But one of the more distinctive things about UPIC and about the University of Plymouth is that we offer health and human sciences, for example, which is a pathway into health-related professions like nursing or physiotherapy, occupational therapy. So health and human sciences, that's kind of different from what you will hear from lots of other Navitas colleges during all of these presentations. Also, we have subjects which are related to our location. So we're very strong in all things marine and ocean. So for students interested in marine science, a great place to be. The word microplastics, which many people now have heard, is actually a relatively new word, and it was invented by a University of Plymouth academic. So yeah, we do lots of things which are closely related to our location on the ocean, maritime business as well, and tourism and hospitality. We're strong in that. So we have lots of tourism and hospitality students. All of those I've just mentioned are undergraduate subject areas, but we have a pre-masters foundation program as well, which leads into a range of academic areas starting in September, or in January, or in May, a 1 semester program leading directly into the university's degree program. So those quickly are some of the key facts about the university, about our location, what we're good at, what we're known for. So let me try and move this on. I know that you said you were interested in employability and internships. And we fully respect that when students come to study with us, it's not really a foundation program they're looking for. It's not really a degree they're looking for. What they're looking for is knowledge and experience, which will help them in the future, help them to get a better job, help them to get the job of their dreams, help them to make a contribution to a family business. So we fully understand that what we're doing is helping people prepare for their future. So we have a strong emphasis on employability and internships. So you can see there, for example, 2 of our students who left the International College, went to the university, then actually became presidents of the University of Plymouth Student Union, and then have left the university and gone on to great careers. So from a foundation program through being a kind of lead figure in the university student body and off into the working world. And also you can see there's some examples of internships that the university offers. You may have heard of Santander, which is a big bank, Spanish bank, but with a global bank as well. And we work with them. The university works with them to provide lots of internships annually. So those are just some examples of the kinds of things we do in relation to employability and internships. And it feeds through the way that we teach as well. So we're always trying to encourage students to develop professional skills in team working, in presenting, and encouraging them to develop their personal profiles, their CVs. So they're always building towards a great professional future. Just to go through quickly some of the subject areas that we offer, and then in particular, the kinds of careers that students have gone on to and the employers they've worked with when they've studied those subjects with us. So to start with maritime, marine and ocean, this gives you some examples of some of the really exciting things our students have gone on to do. Working with Canadian Ocean Racing, for example, the British Antarctic Survey. Babcock is a huge employer of all things maritime and logistical. The Marine Biological Association. So a whole series of examples there of graduates who've gone on to launch their careers with major global companies. And then again, for architecture and design, one thing I should, or 2 things actually, that I should say firstly about architecture. One is that we don't require a portfolio to enter the foundation program. So that's quite unusual. Most universities would, but we don't formally require a portfolio. So if we can see that a student is really excited to become an architect, they can give us some evidence of that. We don't make them jump over that portfolio hurdle. The other thing I should say about architecture that's different at Plymouth is that every student has their own workspace. And that may not sound all that special, but actually what it means is that at the end of the day, they don't have to pick up their work and store it somewhere so that another student can come and use that desk. And that is normally the case in lots of schools of architecture. But at Plymouth, every student has their own workspace. And then moving on to show you some of the names that I'm sure you'll know that our architecture students have gone on to work with. So Lego is a global brand that's widely recognized, but lots of other examples there of careers that our students have gone on to. And then business and management. Again, quite interesting to see the picture there. So that's just a standard picture of the harbour, which is about 10 minutes walk at most from the college. So really nice marina there you can see in the background. Business and management, again, lots of our students have gone on to work with global companies such as Toshiba and Microsoft and Shell and Apple. So good career success there as well. Health and human sciences, I mentioned at the start, this is a little bit unusual among foundation programs. Not every college will offer this. We have a few in our group who do offer this. For us, this is a 3-semester program leading into degrees in nursing, in paramedic science, in physiotherapy, in occupational therapy, in a whole range of health-related professions. So as you can see there, it kind of suggests that this is a very hands-on program. If, for example, if you study nursing in the UK, half of all of the learning will be through experience. Not on the foundation program, which is a classroom-based program with us, but when students go on to study on the degree at the university, at least half of their learning will be through practical experience, which again makes students highly employable when they've graduated and they go on to look for careers. And those careers might be with the NHS, which is the National Health Service in the UK, or we even have an example there of one of the Premier League football teams, or well, no longer Premier League, now Championship, but a top football team in the UK, Swansea City, where one of our students has gone on to work. Vision Express, a major optician. So yeah, some other great examples there of employers that our students have gone on to. Engineering and robotics, some employers there. We even had one of our students stand next to Lewis Hamilton, as you can see, who's about to break the record for the number of Formula One race wins. We have students who've gone on to work at Ferrari, elsewhere in Formula One as well. So again, some great examples of careers that our engineering and robotics students have gone on to. And I understand as well, so just shifting direction a little bit now, and I know you expressed an interest in knowing about the research that we do in our university. So I've just put together some examples here on the following slides of the research that we do. But just to mention the picture there on the right hand side as well. So everything you can see in that picture is no more than 10 minutes walk from our campus. The very bottom of the picture, you can see a freshwater swimming pool even, and then a big grass area where lots of our students go to socialize and sit in the sun. And they can do that today because it's wonderful weather in the UK. It's heading towards 30 degrees in Plymouth today. So it looks like summer has returned. And then at the top of that picture, you can see buildings which are part of the city centre. And just above those, you'd find the university campus and the University of Plymouth International College right in the heart of that campus. So to go back to research, I was going to take you through some of the examples of research that Plymouth is known for. So one example, the first example, is we're working on creating a dementia screening app. So dementia, major health concern in the UK and in other countries, and we're working on a screening app to help with that. We're developing a vaccine for mastitis in cows. So we do some quite interesting things. I've mentioned a lot about marine science and all things related to the sea, but we also do a number of things related to agriculture. This is an example of those. So vaccine for mastitis in cows. I'm not sure I've mentioned it further on, but we are also developing robots which help with harvesting in an automated way. And then the example on this slide here, helping to tackle antibiotic resistance. So as you know, that's a major issue in healthcare now, that more people are developing resistance to antibiotics, possibly because we use them too much and too often. But we're doing work, the university is doing work on research to help to tackle antibiotic resistance. So that's a major global health issue. Creating new water quality testing technology. So you'll know that in lots of developing countries, especially, the quality of water is a major health concern. It's a major agriculture concern as well. So that's an example of how we're, I would also say, globally engaged. So as you can see from these examples, we're working on lots of things which relate to major global issues in the research that we do, helping to try to make the planet a better place, in fact. Yes, so we come to this one. I did mention this previously, but it's so good, I'll mention it twice. We're actually developing harvesting robots for agriculture. They don't look quite like the picture you can see top right there. They're a little bit more high tech than that. But again, another example of the kind of research that the university is doing. Again, changing focus just a little bit. A lot of our students do take part-time jobs. Plymouth is a city of about 250,000 people, so it's smaller than London. But what it is a regional centre for people in lots of towns in the region to come shopping. So for retail, it's big, which means there are lots of part-time jobs in retail. It's also a major tourism centre. So lots of people pass through here for holidays further west in the UK, or to go on the ferries to France and Spain. and you can see a ferry there. Some of our students have even taken jobs on these ferries. So great opportunities for part-time work. And I must, we all understand that we have to add a caveat to that at the moment because of all things COVID, but ordinarily it's a great place for part-time work in most kinds of sectors. So retail, tourism, hospitality, transport. So that's a bit about part-time jobs. And then moving on. Student accommodation. I completely understand. I've been an international student myself. I think one of the major concerns you have just in leaving home is where you're going to sleep on that first night, and will it be okay? Will it be safe? Will it be clean? Will it be affordable? Will I have the opportunity to meet other students? Well, accommodation is a major plus point in relation to Plymouth. So as I mentioned before, it's very cost effective. We have accommodation working with a preferred letting provider that starts from around £90 a week, which will be, as you'll know, less than half of some prices that are charged in London. All of the accommodation is en suite. That means all of the students would have their own bathroom. All of the accommodation is around 5 minutes walk to campus. So no need for public transport, no need to get up at 6:30 to be in for your lecture at 9. In fact, you could get up at 10 to 9 to be in for your lecture at 9. I wouldn't necessarily recommend that, but it's all very close by, our accommodation. England's safest student city as well. So that's the result of an Unbroken Britain community survey that found that Plymouth is England's safest student city. And then, as I mentioned before, bottom left there, in the top 7 most cost-effective student cities in the UK. So that shows you a little bit about accommodation. I realise I've only got 3 or 4 minutes left, so I'll keep going. Some more examples there of the accommodation types that we offer, and I can share a lot more information about that afterwards if you would like me to. And then getting towards the end now, some facts, figures and pictures of Plymouth. So the lighthouse that you can see there in the picture on the left, that's a bit of an emblem for Plymouth. Most people in the UK, or lots of people, would recognise that and know where it is. It's kind of our symbol. And then the right-hand picture, as I've mentioned before, we're a coastal university. That means we're close to lots of great beaches, lots of great surfing beaches, for example. I think we've mentioned some of these before, but perhaps just to add that in terms of size, Plymouth is a medium-sized or perhaps slightly larger than medium-sized university by UK standards, with around 18,000 students. Very diverse student community with students from lots of different countries, but there isn't one single country that dominates. So we don't have huge numbers of students from any one country, but we have lots of students from lots of different countries and a very diverse student community. I mean, it's to wind up really and to repeat some of the things I've said before, that we have a city location. We've got a huge shopping mall that serves the region. We have cinemas, theatres, bars, clubs, restaurants, all of the social facilities that students would look for. But as well as being a city location, we're a coastal university, close to all the beaches and the countryside. So Dartmoor National Park is a national park. It's an area of outstanding natural beauty, as it's described. That's right on our doorstep as well when you go inland. Was even the setting for the Steven Spielberg Warhorse film that some of you may have seen. So just to wind up, a few more pictures there, gives you an idea of our location. Bottom right, you can see we're actually the home to the annual World Fireworks competition. Just a little unusual fact there to end on. There we go. The coolest little city by the sea was what GQ magazine said of us. Britain's ocean city. If you head west from Plymouth, as Greta Thunberg did recently, then you end up in the United States. So it's a medium-sized city on the southwest of England, but very globally connected, very diverse international student community with lots of global connections through the students we have, through the research that we do, through the graduates and alumni who have been through the college and the university. So there we go. I think that was within my 20 minutes. So I'm very happy to take any questions you may have.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Tim. Yes, it was very interesting, and we have 2 questions for you.
Sure.
So, what do you personally like about the university?
What do I like about the university? I think it's not so important that I like it, but what I really like is that our students like it. I think it's very unusual for, maybe not everybody has heard a lot about Plymouth or about the university, but when students come here, they're almost always positively surprised. And I really like to be able to promote a city and a university that people enjoy and that people like. Our students speak very highly of us. So it's my job to promote the college and the university. But students who tell their families and their friends about their experience here, they do a better job than I do of promoting the university. So I think, yeah, if I was going to say one thing I like, it would be that our students like the place, which makes it very much easier to promote it.
Thank you. And what about the cost of accommodation and tuition fees?
Yeah, the tuition fees will be pretty standard to what you see elsewhere. So in a range £12,000 to £13,000 for an undergraduate foundation, or just over £8,000 for a pre-master's foundation. Accommodation, yeah, we're one of the cheapest cities in the UK for student accommodation. Not just the cheapest, but the best value, because a lot of the accommodation is very close to each of the university, the college, the city centre, and the seafront. So not only is it good value, it's very close by to all of the universities and all of the city's amenities. So now in some other cities, students might have to live 15, 20 kilometers away, take a bus or a train every morning. There's none of that in Plymouth. You don't need a car, you don't even need a bicycle. Everything is very short walking distance. So less expensive accommodation, great value, very convenient accommodation.
That's good. Thank you very much, Tim Gatzel. See you.
Thank you.
Thank you. You're very welcome.
Bye. Yana bir bor assalomu alaykum hammaga, studentlarimiz, sizlarning ota-onalari. Hammaga xayrli kun. Yana bir bor eslatib o'tamiz, bizning xizmatlarimiz bepul konsultatsiya kiradi. Boshdan oxirigacha qo'llab-quvvatlaymiz. Hujjatlarni tarjima qilish va notarius orqali tasdiqlash. Grant va stipendiyalar olishga yordam beramiz. 100% universitetga kirishingizga kafolat beramiz. Universitetlarimiz vakillari bilan tez-tez uchrashuvlar o'tkazilib turadi bizning ofisimizda. 1000 tadan ortiq kursant talabalarimiz kompaniya tomonidan yuborilgan. Hozirgi paytda bizda 2 ta ofisimiz mavjud. Bosh ofisimiz Toshkent shahrida joylashgan, xalqaro biznes sentrda. Samarqanddagi filialimiz esa Hamkor biznes sentrida joylashgan. Eslatib o'tamiz, siz hali bu yilda ketmoqchi bo'lsangiz, xorijga o'qishga, Angliyaga, siz hali ulgurasiz dokumentlaringizni topshirishga. Shunday vaziyatni qo'ldan boy bermang. Hali ulgurasiz.
Еще раз напоминаем, что входит в наши услуги. Бесплатная консультация, документальное сопровождение, помощь в получении грантов и стипендий, визовая поддержка, познавательные встречи с представителями университетов, эффективное содействие в процессе всего поступления. Также хотим напомнить, что многие студенты еще успевают на сентябрь 2020 года и на январь 2021 года. Так что поторопитесь, можете обращаться.
Hozir keyingi universitetimiz Birmingham City University'ning vakili Rob Carter prezentatsiya olib boradi. Hurmatli studentlarimiz, savollaringiz bo'lsa bemalol kommentariyada yozishingiz mumkin. Hamma savollaringizga javob beramiz.
Следующей в очереди у нас Birmingham City University, находится в городе Бирмингем, и вести его у нас будет Роб Картер. Rob Carter, are you with us?
Hi, yes, I'm here.
Hello, welcome.
Hey, thank you for the welcome.
So the floor is yours, you may start.
Okay, thank you very much. I will just share my screen, okay?